What is going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're doing another top 10 related video. Earlier on in the year, in January, I made like a top 10 video for Colosseums, a top 10 video for raid bosses, and this was another one that a lot of people suggested, but I never really got around to doing it. But here we are today. I'm doing a top 10 video for my favorite artworks in One Piece Treasure Cruise. Now, this will include the Japanese version of Treasure Cruise, just to put that out there. But, you know, when you compare this game, One Piece Treasure Cruise, compared to some of the other gacha games out there, I would say Treasure Cruise is high up there in terms of the quality of artworks that they provide for us in this game. And you got to think that the artists go through hell producing the quality of artworks that they do, as well as also, you know, doing it very consistently, considering, you know, most of the time we get like a new Sugo Fest batch every single month, which includes, you know, every single character plus their pre-evolution. So there's lots of different artworks, you know, especially with free-to-play characters, in treasure map rare recruits, super evolutions, Colosseums. You know, there's so much artwork that needs to be made for this game, and I've got to give props to the artists for this game, because I think that a lot of these artworks look immaculate. But I just want to go through the top 10 ones, in my personal opinion, that I really enjoy looking at. And, you know, if I miss any of them, let me know down below in the comment section on maybe your top 10, or if not, you know, let me know of any other artworks that I haven't talked about in this video, because I'd really be interested to see what you guys think. And, you know, maybe there is an artwork that I am missing and I might want to actually change my top 10 list. But as of right now, this is probably my top 10 listing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now we can go ahead and see, this is my number 10 artwork, which is the original Strong World Luffy. So for those global players that don't know, there was massive drama about the Strong World batch being implemented into One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. And with that whole debacle, Global actually never got the original artworks for these characters. This is the original version of Luffy, and I think it's probably one of the best Luffy artworks in the entire game. It looks so goddamn clean. I mean, all of the Strong World units, to be quite honest, all look really good. And even their pre-evolved artworks as well look really nice as well. Like, pretty much ripped straight from the movie in the game. So I think that this Luffy artwork is probably my favorite of the Strong World batch, and I'm really upset that Global never got this, because his artwork looks so goddamn good. And I do think that the newer Strong World artworks really do not compare in any way, shape or form to these original artworks. I really wish we did get them, but I do think that the original Strong World Luffy is definitely in my top 10 in terms of favorite artworks in the game. Now, moving on, we have this guy right here. Now, a lot of people might not know where this character is from. So when the Rayleigh shop first got implemented into One Piece Treasure Cruise, this character was on the Rayleigh shop. I believe he cost around 10,000 Rayleigh points on release. I personally have never ever actually bought this guy. He's not a very good character from memory. I don't even remember what he does, but I remember that he wasn't worth 10,000 Rayleigh points. But I've got to say that his artwork looks so goddamn good. I love the fact that they have the silhouettes of the Straw Hats basically showing it directly from Thriller Bark, like the anime itself. It looks so good. It would have been nice if we had some more background stuff around Oars, but just having Oars there with the debris and the Straw Hat silhouettes, I really love what they did with this artwork, and more artwork like this would be cool. Like, it would have been awesome with when we got Treasure Map Kaido. The pre-evolved artwork is when he basically stood up out of the ground against Kid, Apu, and Hawkins, and it would have been awesome to have Kid, Apu, and Hawkins as like a silhouette in the front of that artwork, but unfortunately they didn't do that. But I do think that, you know, if they did artworks like this in the future, that would be really cool. And even just the shading and the texturing on Oars himself looks really clean. It is just a shame that this character really is never ever around on the Rayleigh shop anymore, and also the fact that he's just not a very good character, which is really unfortunate. So that is my number 9 spot on my top 10 listing. Moving on to number 8, we have 6+ version 1 lore. I remember when this guy got first announced, not only is this character just so good, but a lot of people were praising the artwork for this character, and I do think it is one of the better artworks in the game. For myself personally, I don't think it's as good as what other people would rate it. I think a lot of people would rate this artwork close to their top 5, I would think. And I know Law is a very popular character, and that would definitely, you know, push this artwork up in a lot of people's top 10 listings is because Law is such a popular character, and I mean, that's fair enough. I just personally think that they could have done a little bit more here, just because I'm not a big fan of the smoke around the top here, kind of like just cutting off the birdcage. But overall, I do think that this artwork looks really nice. I love the electricity that they have around Law as well, and I like the fact that he actually has one arm, basically straight from the canon of the story where he did get his arm cut off. I do like that they had that. A lot of people were actually saying that they were hoping that Law only had one arm, and I'm really glad they did that. His special animation looks kind of wacky with only one arm, of course, but still really good job from the art team with this one. So now moving on to my next one is going to be the original evolution of Legend Zoro. So this is version 1 Zoro prior to his 6+ evolution. I do think that this artwork looks better than the original version. So this was in Fishman Island when he used his attack against the Fishman Horde. It looks really good. I love the fact that they added the dragon in the background. I don't remember if there was an actual dragon when he used this attack in the anime or the manga. I don't remember if there was. I'm pretty sure there wasn't. But either way, I really like the effect that they've done here, where they have it in the background. Zoro looks like an absolute beast. I remember on release as well, a lot of people were hoping to get Zoro because he's such a popular character, of course, and also the fact that he basically made slashers like so good at that time as well, because slashers really needed some support, and he definitely brought that, being a type booster and a very decent captain for them as well. But overall, still not my favorite in the game. I do think it's better than the version 1 Law 6+, but it's a really fantastic artwork, and the colors are very vibrant in here as well, definitely highlighting his green effect, especially with the dragon as well being green. So now let's move on to the next one. So moving on now, my 6th favorite artwork in the game is a recent character actually on Global, which is 6+ Cavendish. Now, I am not a fan of Cavendish whatsoever. I just don't like the character. He's just very annoying in my personal opinion, but I have to say that this artwork looks so good. I love the effect of him like rushing forward, and you can see that they've got all these lines here to indicate that he is like, he's going fast. He is going so fast. Speed blitzing Dellinger, slashing him up. I love the effect they've got here of him just rushing forward. It looks so clean, and I do hate this thing at the top where they just cut it off. I'm not a big fan of that because it just looks kind of weird, especially because his cape is like coming over the cutoff point. It looks really tacky. But aside from that, this artwork, dude, is so good. I would love for them to do more effects like this of the character doing actions like this where they're rushing forward. Just that's the main thing about this artwork. Like, if you cut off all of these things and make him just like standing, look like he's just standing, this artwork would not look as good as what it is. And just because of the impact effects alone, it's definitely my 6th favorite. And now we're going to be moving into my top 5. Now, there are going to be a lot of Sugo Fest exclusive only characters on this list, just because they do put a lot more effort into the Legend artworks to make them, you know, more desirable, of course. And that's understandable. The Legend artworks do get a lot of love from the artists, and that makes a lot of sense. So, you know, maybe for you guys, maybe some of the Legend artworks don't look as appealing, and maybe there's some other free-to-play characters or rare recruits that perhaps have really good artwork. But anyways, moving on to my top 5, my 5th spot is going to be version 2 Mihawk, which is not available on Global yet, but I really love this artwork. And the reason for that is because Mihawk currently in the game doesn't really have that many good pieces of artwork. Now, you can go ahead and look at the original version 1 Mihawk and his Super Evolution, even the free-to-play Mihawks as well. They look just kind of average. You know, Mihawk is Mihawk. He's a cool looking character, but I love what they've done with his version 2 artwork. Even his unevolved artwork as well looks really good. But I was comparing the two, and I definitely prefer the evolved artwork just because of the effect of the sword. You've got like these green flame effects, as well as the background being in the Muggy Kingdom. I don't remember the exact name for it, but I believe it's called the Muggy Kingdom, basically where Zoro trained during 3-Day 2Y. So I love the artwork here of Mihawk, and as I said, I think it's the best looking Mihawk in the entire game, and that is the main reason why he's in my top 5 spot. Plus, Mihawk is one of my favorite characters just in One Piece in general, so very fair spot to put him in the top 5. So now moving on to my 4th position is going to be a recent Super Evolution that's arrived on JP, which is the 6+ version 1 Akainu. And I love the fact that they made him Fleet Admiral Akainu. Now, there already has been a Fleet Admiral unit, or Akainu, in One Piece Treasure Cruise before, during the World Clash, the regular Rare Recruit, or the World Clash Rare Recruit Akainu, who did look pretty cool, but what they've done here made him look so much better. I love these lava artworks that they've got for the hand and the lava, even with his original 6-star form, and even with his V2 form, they really do a good job making his hand literally look like lava or magma, whatever his effect is going to be. And I love that he has the white suit, and I've said this for a while now, but I'm really looking forward to the day when we get a CP0 Rob Lucci legend, you know, because we have the recent treasure map on Japan being a CP0 Lucci, and he looks just kind of okay, but I really would love a legend-worthy artwork of CP0 Lucci. I love the white suits. I think aesthetically it looks way better than their original black suits, or with Akainu, he had the original, you know, like the red suit. I do think that Akainu in his Fleet Admiral just looks so clean. Although you can see a lot of people complain about this arm, it does look kind of odd. Like, I think that that kind of looks weird, but the rest of the artwork looks great. I'm not really too sure what the background is for Akainu either. I really don't know where it's supposed to be set in, but I love the smoke effects around it, like kind of like bordering in the artwork as well. You've got the sparks and just all the magma coming from the ground. Amazing artwork. Definitely one of my favorites in the entire game. And now we get to talk about my top 3 positioning. So moving on to my 3rd spot is going to be a character that is going to be arriving, like we're all suspecting is going to be arriving for the French anniversary. Now, this is the pre-evolved Sanji and Judge artwork. Now, I don't know who did this artwork, but it looks so much different to a lot of other artworks in Treasure Cruise. The shading and coloring looks a little bit different, in my personal opinion, to some of the other artworks that we've already talked about in this video today. And I love the duality. You have Judge there in the yellow suit, and you've got Sanji in a white suit. The duality looks so good, and I love the fact, right, it's kind of like all bordered out, but then you see Judge's spear like actually goes through the border. It just kind of like adds like a 3D effect. Same with Sanji's elbow. It kind of goes over the border, making it a little bit like pop out a bit more, which looks really good. Now, in terms of like impacting and other sort of effects here, there's really not much going on, but just the scene itself looks really great for a dual unit. And when you compare this artwork to a lot of the other dual units in the game, this is easily one of the best looking dual artworks you'll ever see, honestly. I really hope we get more artworks like this, just because it looks so goddamn good. I love characters that have the backgrounds around them as well, kind of like inserting them into a scene in the anime or manga, and they do that perfectly here with Judge and Sanji. Easily in my top 3 for best artworks in the game. And now we move on to the number 2 positioning, which is going to be my boy, Mr. Slam Jam Katakuri. You guys know that I had to have a Katakuri artwork somewhere in this top 10, and he easily takes the number 2 positioning. Now, I'm a big fan of Katakuri, as you guys know, and I think that his unevolved artwork for his version 2 actually looks a lot better than his evolved artwork. A lot of people probably would agree with me there. I think that his evolved version 2 artwork, the Sai Katakuri, as a 6-star unit, kind of looks a little bit weird, and it's just kind of like him punching with fire around it. Like, it's really not much going on. But here, I love the fact that they've got him basically after he's used his Conqueror's Haki, knocked out all of the fodder, and you've got the destroyed mirror world in the background. You've got the Mochi covering his hand. He's ready to fight with Luffy, and that's honest. And plus, you know, the Luffy versus Katakuri fight was one of my favorite fights in the entire series, if not my most favorite fight in the entire series. And they did a really good job in the anime, of course, with that, and they show it off here really, really well, because we see how high quality the artwork is, and definitely, you know, allows me to reminisce with that fight, and I really love this artwork, dude. It's just such a shame that his evolved artwork isn't as good, and even his version 1 counterpart looks really strong, I think, as well. I do like the evolved version 1 a little bit better, but still, I do think that we are due for, like, a very, very good Katakuri artwork, whether it be a 6+ version 1 would be awesome, or a 6+ version 2, or even a V3 Katakuri at some point down the line. We'll have to wait and see, but I think that a 6+ of version 1 Katakuri is what a lot of people are hoping for right now. A lot of people are hoping for a diced Mochi artwork of Katakuri. I would love the hell out of that, or even like it'd be cool if they had that, and then his attack animation is him rolling up to the enemy as a donut, and him attacking them with diced Mochi would look so clean. But anyways, I digress. This is my number 2 positioning, the unevolved version of V2 Katakuri. Now, moving on to my number one spot, if you were to ask just anyone who watches my videos, you know, what is the number one legend that you would refer to me with when you think about Toadskii, and which legend do I like to use? Now, this is talking about back in the day. This isn't really talking about more recent stuff, and that character would be Time Skip Luffy. I am a massive fan of Time Skip Luffy. If you guys are only relatively new to the channel, you guys might not know about this, but upon his release, that was pretty much the only character I was using. I used Time Skip Luffy for literally everything, for like Fortnights, for raid bosses, invasions were recently just getting released. I used him for every invasion. I used him for Colosseums. Like, I was using him for legitimately everything, and he was dominating content upon his release as well, for many months actually after his release. And especially this artwork, dude. This artwork looks fantastic. They did such a good job here. I'm not a big fan of his evolved artwork. It looks kind of average, like V2 Katakuri once again. Just him punching with fire around it, and that's about it. But they did a really good job here, especially because around this time of the game's life cycle, you know, we just hit 3-day 2-year on the story mode, moving into Fishman Island and stuff like that. And it was really cool to get an artwork like this, where he's arriving at the Sunny, it's coded, they're ready to go to Fishman Island. And I love the scenery here, basically. That's the main thing that I like about it, is the scenery. You've got the bubbles because of Saba Odia, of course, as well. And Luffy looks like an absolute boss. I really wish that he got a better 6+. I feel like his 6+ came a little bit too early, evolving into Gear 4 Luffy. But it is what it is. I would love for them to do branch super evolutions later on down the line. So if you get a dupe of a character and you'd love to, you know, still use it in some sort of fashion, maybe there's going to be another super evolution for the same character that has different skill requirements to evolve into a different type of unit. I would love for them to do that, especially for a character like this, which is honestly one of my favorite units in the game. Despite how old he is and despite how bad he is now in the current meta, I'm still a huge fan of this character, and I always will be. So this is definitely my number one artwork in the entire game. I adore this artwork so goddamn much. But that is it, guys. That is my top 10 breakdown of all of my favorite artworks in One Piece Treasure Cruise as of right now. Obviously, this might change in the future. We'll have to wait and see once more characters get released. But I think that as of right now, this is easily my top 10. And if I forget any major artworks, let me know down below in the comment section, because I might end up changing my top 10. It depends, you know, because I went through a big library. As I said at the start of the video, I went through a big library of artworks. I basically scanned through and determined which ones, like, yeah, I love that artwork, and put them on a top 10 list here. You know, maybe I could do an honorable mention sort of thing, but I don't really have any more artworks for you to show for you guys in this video today. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell notification so you can be notified whenever I upload a brand new YouTube video on the channel. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys within the next video.